Before the officer behind you even turned on his lights, an automatic license plate reader mounted on the front of his cruiser had already scanned your plate, pulled your registration and matched it to your name, your address, and your photograph. He already knows who you are, and you just hit the gas anyway. That's the part that nobody thinks about when they picture themselves in a car chase. You're not running from a person. You're running from a system that identified you before the pursuit even started. The officer behind you doesn't need to catch you. He just needs to watch you until the system catches up. And the system is faster than anything in your garage. But roughly 35% of police pursuits end with the chase being terminated or the driver getting away, at least temporarily. That number comes from the International Association of Chiefs of Police. It doesn't mean 35% of runners go free. Some crashed. Some were found later at the address the plate reader already had on file. But some of them actually disappeared. But there is a window. It's about 120 seconds long. It's closing from the moment you accelerate. And almost nobody uses it correctly because their brain is telling them to do the exact opposite of what actually works. Red and blue lights in your rearview mirror. The siren hits. You don't pull over. You hit the gas and the speedometer climbs past 80. The cop matches you. You blow through a red light, weave through 2 lanes of traffic, and he's still right there. You've watched Fast and Furious. You've played Need for Speed since you were 12. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you think if you just go fast enough, you'll lose him. You won't. And speed is the reason. The moment you accelerated past that traffic stop, the officer radioed dispatch. Dispatch classified it as a pursuit. Within 60 seconds, every patrol car within a 5-mile radius received your vehicle description, your plate number, your direction of travel, and your approximate speed. If the jurisdiction has air support, a helicopter is being scrambled. Typical response time for a police helicopter in a major city is 4 to 8 minutes. Once that helicopter is overhead, nothing you do on the ground matters. The camera tracks you from a mile up. You can't outrun it, you can't hide from it, and the crew up there is sipping coffee while they watch you burn through red lights like your life depends on it. Which, at this point, it actually does. The Bureau of Justice Statistics tracks what happens during pursuits, and the numbers should change how you think about every second of this. 30 to 40% of high-speed chases end in a crash. 1% end in a fatality. That sounds small until you realize there are somewhere between 60 and 100,000 police pursuits per year in the United States. 1% of that is 600 to 1,000 deaths annually, and roughly a third of those are innocent bystanders who were just driving to the grocery store. The average pursuit lasts 12 minutes at an average speed of 75 miles per hour. At 75, you're covering 110 feet per second. That's a third of a football field every second in a vehicle you've spent your entire driving life operating at 35 on your commute to work. At 90, steering inputs that feel normal at highway speed become violent overcorrections. Braking distances triple. A slight bump in the road that you'd never notice at 40 can unsettle the chassis enough to put you into a spin. Professional racing drivers spend thousands of hours learning how a car behaves at the limit of traction. You haven't. And the adrenaline dump flooding your system right now is making you faster in a straight line, but catastrophically worse at the only thing that matters, which is judgment. But the officer behind you has his own limitations, and understanding them is the difference between the people who got caught and the people who didn't. Departmental pursuit policies vary wildly. If you're wanted for a non-violent offense, a broken taillight, an expired registration, even a suspended license, many departments require their officers to terminate the chase once it becomes a danger to public safety. High speeds in residential neighborhoods, school zones, heavy traffic. The liability math changes for them, not for you. Some departments will back off, follow at a distance, and let the helicopter do the rest. Los Angeles is the textbook version of this. LAPD's air support tracks you from above while ground units hang back and wait. They don't need to be on your bumper. They don't need to be anywhere near you. They just need to know where you stop. Because the moment you abandon the vehicle, you're on foot, on camera, and inside a perimeter that gets tighter every minute. And that phrase, where you stop, is the entire game. The runners who actually got away, and there are verified cases of this, share an almost identical profile. Short pursuit, under 3 minutes. No helicopter involvement. Rural or semi-rural roads with multiple turn options. A vehicle that looks unremarkable the moment it slows down. And the discipline to stop running before the system finished scaling up. The strategy that works has nothing to do with speed. It's disappearance. You create distance. Not a lot. A few blocks between you and the officer, enough that he can't see your car. You make 2 quick turns that break line of sight. Then you do the thing that every instinct in your body is screaming at you not to do. You pull into a parking garage, a residential driveway behind a building. You kill the engine. You kill the lights. And you sit there in the dark while your heart tries to crack your ribcage from the inside. The officer rounds the corner, and you're gone. He's got 2, maybe 3 possible directions you could have taken. He picks one. If he picks wrong, and if there's no helicopter overhead, and if no other unit has a visual, the active pursuit is over. You're a parked car in a city full of parked cars. But that only works in the first 120 seconds. Once the helicopter is up, you're a blinking dot on a screen, and parking doesn't help. Once the perimeter is set, every road out is covered. And once your plate is run, which happened before the chase even started, you're sitting in a vehicle that every officer in the county has been told to look for. And the technology gap is getting wider every year. Spike strips can be deployed ahead of you within minutes, shredding your tires and ending everything regardless of how fast you're going. PIT. Maneuvers, where an officer taps your rear quarter panel to spin your vehicle sideways, are approved at speeds up to 45 in most departments. Some agencies have started using GPS tracking darts that stick to your bumper and transmit your location in real time. They don't even need to chase you. They tag you and drive home. And some departments have stopped pursuing non-violent offenders altogether. They just let you go. You feel like you won. You drive home. You go to bed thinking you beat the system. Then at 6 the next morning, there's a knock on your door and 2 officers are standing there with a warrant, your dashcam footage, and a felony charge for evading that carries 1 to 5 years in prison. Because they already had your plate. They had it before you even started running. And that's the part that turns this whole thing sideways. If the original stop was for a broken tail light, that was a $150 ticket. The moment you hit the gas, you converted it into a felony. If anyone gets hurt during the pursuit, another driver, a pedestrian, the officer behind you, you're liable for those injuries regardless of who technically caused the crash. If someone dies, and with those crash statistics, somebody very well might, you're looking at vehicular manslaughter or second-degree murder in some jurisdictions. Your car is impounded, your license is gone, your insurance is voided, and every traffic stop for the rest of your life comes with a felony flag attached to your registration. So you're doing 95 on a 2-lane road with a police interceptor 200 feet behind you and a helicopter crew somewhere between the hangar and the sky. The window is closing. You've got maybe 60 seconds before this becomes mathematically unwinnable. You need 2 clean turns, a place to disappear, and the ability to force yourself from 95 to 0 in the space of a parking lot, while every cell in your body is begging you to go faster. The technique is simple. The window is real. The system has limits. But your plate was scanned before the lights came on. The helicopter is 6 minutes away. And the only move that guarantees you walk away from this is the one you should have made at the beginning. Pull over.